getting the live stream set up here as Mr. Kesh
We don't see.
is in glee with his new toy.
Houston, we got a problem now. You wanted it black, we change it to white. Here now. Yeah, wait, we got a problem.
Top button, the top button. Make sure that hand is always up there at the top. There, see the finger? See the finger up at the top?
Finger, okay.
Right there. See the finger? Now you can.
Ooh, the size has changed. Look, I can make you happy to what way? Look, no. Okay, we go a bit further down that people can see better. Is it better now for you? Now when we wipe, it's all black. Yes, I wanted to do it on the blackboard. We're there.
It's there's too much light on the board, and it makes it.
Is it good to you? So you wanted the blackboard?
Well, it looks white to us still. I mean, it's quite. It's not. There's too much light on the board itself.
Right beside the board, please.
I think we got to go back on the board and change the setting again. White is easier because now I can't use other colors, huh? Red doesn't go very well, does it? They can't see. No, I'm better go back and change it to
We
white.
could see it if it was just the whiteboard lighting, but the rest of the lighting.
Change that to white. Oh, white.
Change it back to white and just use a thicker pen.
Oh, jeez. It's getting worse. We came to fix the, what did you say? Yes, thank you very much.
The problem is there's too much light on the whiteboard itself, I believe, and it washes out the whiteboard.
From the projector, we can't stop it.
Just use the white and make a wider pen length when you write. So it's deeper.
Do you want us to use a thicker pen? I can go very, oh, I'll put it this way. I can go very thick. What's the color now? Hello, I lost my color range. I have a pen. Oh, okay. We use that. Now we use better color, deeper color. And we use thicker pen, highlighting.
Okay, you can't see that last color hardly at all on the screen.
You can't see highlights. I thought you guys are seeing the board. That's why we got this. That you could see the board. You could read off the board, not off my writing.
Yeah, we could do that. You could share the screen from there, Marco.
Okay, we are ready to go.
We could see a little better earlier today, but it's not too bad.
Meeting Zoom. Yeah. Can you give him right to share a screen, please?
Yeah, I'll do that, sir.
Ready to go? Yes, we can go now. Did you find your people?
Just a sec.
Open the windows. It's too dark. The camera can't take. And you got to put the lights on here. It's too dark.
Can you try writing there, Mr. Kesh, and see how it looks on the screen now?
What would you want me to write? I found all the tricks. Slowly, I'll know everything. Now my nano coding goes like this. Perfect. Can you see that? Yeah, we got nano coating dots. If we go like this, Now, if we change the color, I can give you a Gans color dot. Oh, sorry. No. I can give you Gans color dots. I can raise it to orange and I can give you orange dots. Fantastic. Very clear. Okay, we know even what to do. We can. Where are you, the guy who told me you can bin it? It doesn't work. How do you bin it? The bin. No, I'm binning it. If I put this.
Don't try with no this, just switch, okay?
Okay, we go backwards. We go back. Go back. Okay, no problem. No. It's okay, no problem. Tell us when you're ready to go.
We've
Okay,
been on live stream, so we're ready to go there.
We can go.
Let me go on the YouTube here, just a sec.
Okay, let Vince get going here.
If you touch on this one, it goes to a new page. And on this, you will have 1, 2, 3, and these 2 layers. I think you can switch to this. No, I will find out.
No problem. By the time we find out, the board will be too old. No problem. Okay, we are ready to go.
Yes, just a moment, please.
How come we got 2 of these? The same. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to mute Mr. Cash so we can go here because we're on YouTube as well.
Okay, so
go ahead, Rick.
All right, good. So we're ready to begin the afternoon session for Monday, October 26, 2015. This is regarding the blueprint week that the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute has been offering to the public. And this is the afternoon teaching, which will be more on the theoretical and as opposed to the practical this morning. Okay, I think Mr. Keshe is ready to go there with his new whiteboard that we're still getting used to, but is quite an interesting tool, I think. Go ahead, Mr. Keshe.
What's when he likes? Okay, doesn't matter. Good afternoon, good evening, good day to you, wherever you start and watching these broadcastings. Today is the second part of the first day of what we call a Blueprint Day. What the Blueprint has stood for and stands for is a technical word for the copy of the origin, which means in olden days, if you were a craftsman, when you made a blueprint, it was the final page, final design, which everything was manufactured of. If you were still, I think, used in some industries, when you had a blueprint in your hand, you knew this is the end product you have to produce. It goes back to the craftsman times when we used to have the drawing boards and with the bigger scales. And when we did the blueprints, it meant it's sacrosanct. It's the final and it'll be copied and everything will be made up. We call it the blueprint, which means we share our knowledge of what has been with the, what you call the structure of the development of the blue box, which is the energy unit, Magrav energy unit. We try to keep, if you were me and you could see what I can see, you laugh your head off, but I keep very quiet. I've just seen something very interesting. So what happens is that we made the system. The systems are getting released literally from the factory this week. We see that the units which you received or you receive is made of plasma, works on a new structure of life. It works on a structure where, in reality, we have never been allowed to understand, because it was too far out for us to be able to comprehend the simplest part of the technology, of the whole creation. Somehow I can't get rid of my dots. Turn a new page. Where? Here. Bottom, here. I can turn as many pages as you like. Okay, new page, new life. This is a new page for human race, new energy. We accidentally turn the page on human life. Let us look at what is plasma. Plasma is literally been made to a word, especially in energy technology, especially in the world of medicine, to something, especially when it comes to production of energy, that is worse word than nuclear. If you were a nuclear physicist 50 years ago, you were a stupid genius because you thought you can understand more. So our belief has been, in a very simple way, that we had, we lost our pen. We want a pen back. The top one. I have changed it. I don't need this. Pardon? I have done that. Yeah, but I've gone to the triangle. You lot get to know more about this than I do. You see, it doesn't go because I have dots. I think I have to go to my. In the middle. Choose the line. Okay, but they'll still have a triangle. Oh, it's done. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you. I was playing. You see, this is happening when you get a new toy. This is the problem, playing with a new toy. Okay, now, sorry about this. You got to bear with us. Happened to be today coming in, so that's what it is. It's been sitting down there for 2 weeks. Remember one thing. On this planet, we are used to what we call matter state. What have we done with matter? We have melted it, we have burnt it, we have liquefied it, we have frozen it, we have vaporized it, and that's all we could do in the condition of the environment of gravitational field and magnetic field of this planet. Then, in the process of scientific evolution, we have managed to go deeper and deeper in this matter state. We became atomic, and then we got a little more cleverer. We went more deeper in the atom in past 100 years, and we become what is known as a nucleus. But what we have done in all these statements of matter state, different condition of environment, atomic or nuclear, we have never walked away from one reality. In atomic, we call it an atom. It could be proton and electron, and we call this one entity. Ooh, looks good. Then, in nuclear, we went into the structure of the center. And now, instead of dealing as a matter with a big lump of atoms, we became to deal with one atom. And then we came to deal with the center of the atom, which what we call nucleus and the nuclear part. But the reality hasn't changed. The nuclear next step to it is plasma, because that's what is the next step of evolution. What is inside this? This is a plasma. How far can we break into it to understand more of it? Nuclear physicists made the life very interesting, and they got most of the people frightened of them, because to want people to listen to you, you show them the power. And accidentally, as Einstein said himself, the biggest mistake in his life was getting the Americans to build a nuclear bomb, the atomic bomb, which went on Hiroshima. His advice was taken seriously, and as we know, American government decided to go full whack with it. But because they were frightened of it, they saw how many can kill, they start valuing us and respecting us falsely. Now we go to the next step, which is going further in. We came from the solid, we went to atomic, we went to nuclear. Now is the time, what we call the plasma, which what is the nucleus is made of? What is that structure? And now we've seen the same falsification of knowledge is carried through with the plasma technologies. But this time, we are double-minded because we attach plasma to a lot of things. Plasma of the blood, plasma of this, plasma of energy. And very recently, in the past couple of years, the ones who don't understand, now, with the same falsification of power of nuclear, they added new stupidity into plasma, what they call the God particles. Because now you don't know whatever we say you're going to accept. So, in reality, it's the next step looking inside the construction of the universe when you look inside the plasma. There is no God particle. The ones who came up with the God particle, it means, oh God, they don't even have a brain to think. Because if the plasma reduces in strength enough, at the boundary when it manifests itself as a plasma itself, literally, if you think of it, here is a God particle, because that's the point of manifestation of the plasma itself. But now they are looking inside it to find where this might happen here, that they could call it a God particle. So here is a God particle. Outside, then it shows that the plasma itself is not a God particle. So this shows the hypocrisy which is being created around the plasma technology. Because this way they can milk the society for the money as a worth, building hundreds of millions of research centers for just PhDs and good houses with swimming pool. Otherwise, doesn't create anything else. So, as we are Keshe Foundation, and we past being a nuclear physicist, it's an old-fashioned, we don't wear these clothes anymore. Nowadays, it's fashionable to be a plasma physicist. So now we explain in a simple way that all of us, the whole of the human race, over the next couple of years, and especially after this week, you all become plasma physicists. And the funniest thing is, do you know what's going to happen? All the plasma physicists which are sitting in CERN, they laugh at you. This is not that we are the physicists. We know you're rubbish talking, because this way it shows their degree was worth nothing. We made a lot of money for a lot of people to research into nothing. Just good titles. So what is the plasma physics? What is the plasma? You want to see what is inside of a neutron. You want to see what's inside of the proton. There is no difference between a proton, electron, neutron, the sun, the earth, the universe. It's the same circle. You decided to put different name to it according to the size of the plasma inside it. But the working is the same. They're all dynamic. They all carry gravitational magnetical field, which is repulsion. And they all share their field with their environment. So if Plasma is supposed to be a mystery. You don't understand it in the electron level. You don't understand it in proton or in neutron or the Earth or the Sun. Look at the biggest size of the universe. You see the same composition. Somewhere, the energy from the central line of the universe, which is here, has emitted, and if I can go a little bit less, and in a slowing down, somewhere it has interacted with enough magnetic fields. It's like crashing the car. When you're going, let's say 100 kilometers an hour, and you have no brake, you keep on hitting different trees and barriers till you come to a halt. That's what happens. When a magnetic gravitational field of a plasma from center of the universe is released, as it slows down, as by interacting with other fields, somewhere here manifests itself in a matter state of strength. So now you can't see it in the plasma of a proton, you can see it in the plasma of the universe. You can see it in the plasma of the solar system. The same thing is, just change the name. The sun, the sun has created radiation, and these radiations battle with other fields in their environment, and somewhere when they slow down, they don't need necessarily Earth to convert to a neutron or to a nitrogen or to a proton. Somewhere in the plasma of this solar system, if the fields becomes the strength of the matter state of the solar system, then at this point somewhere, you see manifestation of the matter. If it's the strength of a nitrogen, you call it the nitrogen. If it's the strength of oxygen, you call it oxygen. So now you see, we don't need to come up with all these fancy words and names, bosons and what do you call it, quarks and up quarks and down quarks and bosons, because we never understood. So if there is an up quark and down quark, I think Earth must be the up quark. Mars could be the down quark, and bosons most probably are the moons. So creating again another bunch of false names for the same thing is leading mankind to the wrong way to look at the whole structure of the universe and the work of the universe. And that's why when we put things in order,
Lost your voice there, Mr. Kesh. Can you check your battery?
pardon?
Oh, we just lost you for a second. Sorry.
Am I back?
Yep.
Yeah. So what it is, these names have become another structure in the whole, misinforming the public, misinforming the knowledge of the humanity for a few people's titles. Because they spend a lot of time getting these PhDs, getting these seats as professors, and now that they see the reality is out and their position is in danger, they're not man enough to say, we made a mistake. Now we start with a new way. We start with understanding a new thing. So what do they say? Can you change the name of your plasma? Because the way you explain the plasma, my professorship worth nothing. We had it. The top Italian nuclear physicist, professor, sent by American to us, to the Sensano, when he realized he's the senior advisor to CERN in Italy, in Switzerland. His patents are used to control the plasma, which actually all of you do like this from now on. You know more about the plasma than the professor does. So when he realized what he says, he doesn't say you are right or wrong. He says, can you change the name of your plasma the way you define it? Because otherwise my patent's worth nothing. So this guy, instead of being very correct, he goes and puts opposition against Keshe Foundation because his PhD patents, whatever, are worthless. So now what we do in Keshe Foundation, we make a physicist out of all of you, a plasma physicist, because this is something you've been born with. You all know it. You all understand it in such a simple way. You do not need somebody else to tell you. Because if you understand the work of the plasma in every state, travel in space for man become as easy as drinking a cup of water. Because if you understand the behavior of plasma in any of these states, you can produce it at the strength which you need anywhere in the universe. This is what we teach here at the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. How easy a man can understand the work of the creation and the work of the universe in a very, very simple way. That, as we say, with not much intelligence, we are all intelligent enough to survive in a space if we go to a space, because we understand the totality. So, what is in the plasma? What is the mystery with this new word? There is no mystery. If you look at it, the reality is that somewhere in the universe, magnetic fields flow everywhere, in every shape and form and directions. Some go, and in so many ways, some come back. And somewhere, when the fields are strong enough and of the same, they interact. If they are of the similar strength and they are of opposite strength, they create a position where this one, if I choose a different color, this one tries to link up with this, and this one tries to link up with this. So what happens? In trying to link up, what they make is very simple. You have what wants to go out, the black. I have to measure my speed with this thing. It's the speed of rotation. Ooh, it's a good plasma. So you have this. This is what's trying to get out. It's okay because they have different shapes. And you have another one which is trying to pull in. Ooh. So the one which is trying to pull in becomes gravitational, and the one which is pushing away becomes magnetical. You have to realize in English word, because of the use of too many words of similar things, there is a confusion in wording, but it's not confusion in the science. Gravitation means to gravitate, to get pulled into. Magnetical or magnetical repulsion is when you separate each other, when you push against each other. If I choose two magnets, Fabio, are you there? Can you come close on the picture? If we take two magnets, two spherical magnets, if we rotate them, if we allow them, you see what happens. They always find a point of reference. Some will go clockwise, some go anti-clockwise. And in so many ways, we don't need much to be able to attract. So what happens is that magnetical and gravitational work in a total opposite way. It's okay, I've finished. Yes, if you want to do it.
We didn't catch it in the video.
So what happens is you have, this is the shape of plasma. Plasmas are always round. We haven't seen a square plasma. So this magnet has its north pole or exit and entry. And this entry and exit has interaction with another if it's opposite. And if I turn it, you see it cannot come together. But if you look, if you can come close enough, you see it doesn't need much energy to attract the other one. So as you see, there is no fuel burned. There is no rocket engine, there is no fuel. Only what brings the thing together is interaction of gravitational magnetic field, if it's attracting or repulsing. If it's attracting, we call it gravitation. If it is repulsion, we call it magnetical. So what happens is that this is the shape of a plasma. A plasma attracts what we call gravitation. A plasma creates repulsion amongst its fields we call magnetical, which is the repulsion. Not magnetic. Magnetical like gravitational. Gravitational is the interaction between two fields which are opposite to each other, and magnetical, which is similar, which they reject each other. Atmosphere of the Earth, we call it magnetical. Gravitation of the Earth, we call what it pulls and holds us to. So one creates a shielding, and the other one creates attraction to hold on to what you have. And this is the behavior of any plasma. Earth has the same. It has a shielding, we call it the atmosphere. It has a gravitation, we call it that it holds on to it. Sun has the same. Proton has the same. Electron has the same. So this is the behavior of a plasma, and when you are in a plasmatic condition, it means continuously you're in a process of getting attracted, or you attract yourself. When you get attracted, you connect yourself in this line. When you attract, you connect yourself in this line. So continuously you give and you take and you connect. So now if you look at the totality of it, a plasma like Earth creates a flow of gravitational and magnetical in 360 degrees in a spherical shape, but the flow of the magnetic field in it and the flow of magnetical field out of it creates a constant flow that it can exist in its environment. So now you're all plasma physicists. Plasma, in a single language, in a simple physics language, is the interaction of magnetic gravitational field forces, which their totality creates an environment that collectively they interact with their environment. Call this collective interaction plasma of a proton, or Earth, or Sun, or our universe. There is no difference. It's the amount of the field in the entity. The less we have created a name for it, the smaller size, the bigger we have created a different name for it in a bigger size of the mass of gravitational magnetic field, the strength within the center of this entity. So if you put trillions and trillions and trillions of electrons together, you still create yourself a sun. If you put trillions and trillions of suns, gravitational magnetic field plasma together, you can create the power of a galaxy, and the same. So it's as it reduces in strength in gravitational magnetic field, it appears in different state. The state of matter, as we always say, is somewhere here because it's very low. The state of emotion is somewhere here. The state of universal central plasma is somewhere here. But in fact, they're all plasmas. Even in a matter state is a plasma. But a plasma where the magnetic gravitational field in respect to the environmental gravitational magnetic field of the Earth manifest themselves as a solid, tightly packed. We change the environment of it, we saw them as nanomaterial, we change the environment of them, we saw them releasing themselves as what we call gas, and you see it tomorrow. So we, as human beings, now have the ability to create conditions without the environment, but with gravitational magnetic field forces. Is mastering the work of the universe. And that's why the work of the Keshe Foundation looks so strange. This is why, as somebody said, I've become the guy who said the earth is round, and they showed him a pole and a rope. But hopefully we passed that time. We've seen it. The Belgian government has been trying to be the hanger to stop this technology to come out, because we declared there is a new science in man's intelligence to understand. So now you understand why there is such an opposition to the Keshe Foundation work with the plasma. Because now we have made plasma at the reach of every man. A 5-year-old child, as we always say, in China is producing nanomaterial in the toilet. More important than the physicists in CERN. This is why the physicists in CERN have a problem, because their intelligence is not a 5-year-old girl. That's where it comes, and that's why you see so much opposition. We are terrorists and the rest. Now we all, as a human race, using the plasma, we all have become terrorists against one nation, and it's called Belgium. The rest of the world is moving on. So now you got to understand why we have to understand the totality of this, that no one else can abuse the human race, because understanding the work of the plasma is the key to travel in the universe. Keshe Foundation is a space institute. We don't use fuels, we don't burn anything. We use the understanding of the interaction of the gravitational magnetic field, both magnetically and gravitationally, in respect to one entity to another. If you look, I have the magnets in my hand. If I put these magnets on a table, transparent that you can see, I don't do anything with it. It's just that the magnets, their position dictates each other. Can you see this, or do you want to come closer? Yes? So what happens is that what we do, I don't do anything. Do you want to take this board with you, or can we put it on the table to go bigger? We're gonna screen share with you. Just wait 1 second, that our camera people can come close enough to see. If you want to come close, you can photo. Are you into it? Oh, good. So you can see it. Can you see it from the back? So what happens is that if you look, I don't do anything. The magnets find their position in respect to each other. And if I just bring another magnet, which is positive opposite polarity, look what happens. No fuel burn. It attracts the other one to it. So if you look in respect to these, it turns, but in respect to itself, it doesn't. So they accommodate each other. This is the reason even why proton and electrons rotate around each other, because they find positioning. Constant positioning is needed for one plasma to be in touch or in balance with another plasma. So now you have to become plasma physicist. And the only way you'll survive in space is through plasmas. Understanding its behavior, understanding its connections, understanding how it appears itself in so many ways that It can satisfy all the needs of the man, be it energy, be it fuel, be it food, be it medicine. Because in the universe, we never fight, we accommodate. You've seen how the magnets accommodate each other. Why the present medicine has failed? Because we fight against every disease. We can work very simply amongst the disease, amongst the infection, and just change their gravitational magnetic field, and you find out they give or they take or they cannot exist. That's why you see cancers and other diseases will be eradicated in no time. So what it comes and what is important, if it's very hard for you to understand, I brought you the most complicated plasma technology that you can all understand. My students know I always use simple things because it comes home very easy with it. This is the science of plasma, a toilet roll. Very interesting. Have a look at it. You understand it very quick. If I open enough of this toilet roll and leave it here, I'm going to put this away, you very soon comes to you lot exactly what's going on. If I take this as one piece of plasma, magnetical or gravitational, the physicist in CERN will kill himself. His technology has come down to toilet. I'm a nuclear physicist, so I can stay back. So, yes, you can do. Stop. Can you see it? Yeah. So now what I've done, I open this plasma. This is at the end of it. Now we're going to put this plasma, which way does it roll? This way. So I'm going to roll it open the right way. If I go that way, I roll my toilet roll. Sun has finished. There we are. Now you can see what I'm getting at. This is your plasma of hydrogen, let's say. Inside is tightly packed with gravitational magnetic field. As it comes to the edge, now you have two. You have magnetical outside and you have gravitational inside. But you have to think of this as two ways. Huh? Now you know why I've been asking for a two-ply toilet roll. That's why it was easier. We've been looking everywhere for a two-ply toilet roll the past couple of days. So now, this is the plasma of hydrogen, and this is its magnetical, and this is its gravitational. Don't forget the gravitational is in the center because it tries to pull in, and magnetical is there to shield it. But if you look, magnetic field is like toilet roll, it's got sections, depending on the strength. If I use this as strength, I don't have it anymore, so I go one closer, get the stronger. So now I have more gravitational, so I can pull more to myself. So this chappy from another guy becomes mine, I become bigger and bigger this way. So now you see how simply it works. This is a plasma, but this is of a hydrogen. You want to see a nuclear atomic structure plasma of, let's say, plutonium? I've got you one. There we are. So, in fact, there is no difference. So, if I go like this, the toilet roll is the hydrogen, and if I open this bigger toilet roll of the same thing, and then let's tear it off, and then put it inside, because this is so packed we can't go inside, then you know exactly what happens. Zoop. There it goes. Then I wind it up. Then I wind it up. And then I wind it up here. And look at this. Now you have a magnetical of both hydrogen and plutonium at the atmospheric condition on this planet. It depends how much is inside according to this. This is a plutonium. This is hydrogen. But at this atmospheric condition, they manifest themselves as tangibility at this level. So they're both the same. So now the difference between a nuclear physicist and a plasma physicist is we allow to go inside, not being afraid of a structure of a nuclear. In understanding that depends on the strength of the magnetic fields which we have stored inside. At the boundary, we see the difference, but in respect to the atmosphere of this condition of this planet. If we change the atmosphere of this planet, if I can go back on my screen, that's okay. Let's see if I can reduce it. I want to share it in two halves. Is that possible? We want two screens next to each other. We had it this morning. No, don't go there. You got to share it. Okay.
Okay, so maximize the teacher camera view and then just drag it to each side.
It's okay. Now we need to bring just 1 second, please. These guys know what they're doing. Just give them time. Okay, somewhere there. Just give me a position. That's perfect. So, so what happened? We were good. We were perfect. Just pull a little bit to the side to close the zoom gap. Yeah, that's perfect, Marco. Thanks. So now what you see is the difference between two tolerable. But on the boundary of the boundary, these last two layers is a condition of atmospheric Earth condition. If I change this parameter and I take this plutonium into planet Zeus, most probably the manifestation of the matter state will be somewhere here. But on Earth, which is a weaker, it shows itself at a weaker point. And if you understand this, you all become plasma physicists. Every bone, every single cell in your body is a plasma. What are you afraid of? Understanding your own creation, what you've been created out of. But in reality, there is no difference. If you could understand how simple a plasma works, you'll find out it's nothing more than a Taylor rule. How you wind it, how much you wind it, and what the strength you want to show itself. You can create and store enough in the center to become gold, or you can weaken it enough to become hydrogen that you can manipulate. But what we put here in a green line is combination of gravitational and a magnetic field at a given point in the universe. So you see, all of you within 5 minutes, one afternoon, have become more plasma physicists than the plasma physicists in the universe. Becomes so easy, and then all you need to worry about is, do you want to deal at this end with this, or do you want to deal at this end with this? Call this magnetical, call this gravitational. What is the problem? We're not sharing. I thought we were sharing. It says stop share, but you're sharing on the top. I can see it.
Yeah, make sure you share the entire window and not just the Starboard app.
Stop sharing. Can you share now? Is it okay? Or you don't get it on yours. You're sharing your screen there. You have to take it back in yours and then share it on your computer. Oh.
That's probably because it doesn't like to share the Zoom app because it, doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't like to share the Zoom app. So we put it next to it that you can see it because you see both of them. So in reality, what you got now in a simple way. Excuse me, can I have some water, please? Carly, can I have some water, please? My cold is killing me. So you will understand how the plasma can be simply explained, understood, and in so many ways be used. We changed the plasma according to the environment. We change the plasma according to gravitational magnetic field of the environment. If we change it according to the environmental gravitational magnetic field, then it manifests itself in a matter state in that environment, and then you have a gas, you have a liquid, you have solid, and if you want to vaporize it. But if you go to a limit that up to now was a mystery to man, which is a plasma, it's very easy to understand. Plasma of the universe, plasma of a cell of a man, works exactly the same way across all dimensions. You don't need to buy yourself telescopes or microscopes to see it. You look at the structure of the earth, you understand the work of the plasma. You look at the structure of the universe, you understand the work of the plasma. And then you tell yourself in the structure of the solar system, if the energy of the sun in reducing in strength manifests itself somewhere as a solar dust and it becomes a dust matter that we can see, then this plasma of this solar system is full of God particles. We have to give a lot of Nobel Prizes to a lot of sun. That's how simple it is. It's hypocrisy which has been made by a bunch of not knowing science in congratulating each other in idiocy and hypocrisy they've created for themselves. It's like a bunch of monkeys looking inside the same jar and saying, what a beautiful ocean. It's just because there's water in it. So now we see how simple, if you understand this, in the structure of what we spoke this morning, you release this, you know how to release this, you collect it, you reduce it in the strength, and it becomes the energy you need for, thank you very much, for your plasma, for your system. In these magnetic systems, you see, that's all we've done. We have released the energy of the sun. We have released the energy of the universe. But what we've done while we are releasing it, ooh, I have to use this. This good one, this one. Go orange. When you put it here as a nanolayer on both sides of the wire, if you create an environment for it where you can release it in the new environment, and then it becomes the GANs of itself. And now you have a fantastic position because you created the GANs, because you have done what you were not supposed to do. The energy of the GANs, because of the nanomaterial of, ooh, it disappeared. Doesn't matter, it still didn't want it to be there. So these are your GANSes. Oh, I wasn't happy with it. Now I can do what I wanted to do. These are your copper wire. These are your nano layers. What is interesting is that I go to a very dark color. No, I go to where I want to be here. If you can take the energy and they flow inwards. What is interesting is these nano layers here because of their dimension, they can absorb any energy. The full spectrum of what the supplier, which is the GaNs material, which is freed, will release. Interesting is they continuously absorb all the energies in the flow direction of where they want it to go to. So what you get is continuous flow here. But what you got to understand is in either case, be the matter state, be the nano, be the GaNs, these are all, somehow this thing goes up and down. There we are. We didn't lose it, it's there. So somehow all the energy is based on one thing. Matter is a plasma. The nano is a plasma. The GaNs is a plasma. So the whole work of the universe is on the plasma state. Now, for the first time, we have managed to separate the energy from the matter state to separation from molecular structure to a single plasma. And we have learned using the same matter, we can absorb it back in again to give us what you are interested, free energy or free plasma, which now can supply us with the energy we need as we need it. This brings a new dimension to the man's thinking. And that is the habit of man has been to store for rainy days. We always collect food for the day when there is no food. We collect money for the day when there is not going to be something we can buy. We store gold for the day if something happens, we're going to have gold to buy things from. Now that you understand this structure, for the first time, man in his life needs no storage. You don't need to store because the energy of everything you want, you ever can imagine, is stored in the universe. You want gold, you create gravitational magnetic field of the gold, as much as gold as you want. You want water, you can produce as much water if tangible water is your desire. You can keep the gravitational magnetic field of the water and never tangibilize it, never become tangible, till the point when you want physically to have water to wash your hand. But you can carry the gravitational magnetic field of the water in your body that you can absorb moisture from the air without even drinking a glass of water. To do that, you have to change the plasma structure of your brain, which is your emotional, that accepts new energy level according equal to the water you need. So if I want water, through my emotional part of the brain, you have to go into all the teachings of the Keshe Foundation in 2 years to understand what we are talking about. Then your body absorbs water. Because when it comes into the body of the man, then it changes to the plasma of the gas of the water, what you need. This, as I always say, Keshe Foundation is a space technology, a spaceship program, not a space program. A space program like NASA is jet propulsion, burning fuel, worrying about the food and everything else. With the spaceship program, there is no worry, because in the space, we take from the universal magnetic gravitational field what we need. If we need water, we convert it to water. If we need energy of plutonium, we change it to plutonium, and the rest of it. With the difference that once you understand the gravitational magnetic field positioning, you don't burn fuel. You position yourself in respect to the environment where you want to be. Burning of the fuel is ended with propulsion. In a space technology, you position yourself in respect to two things. One is gravitational and one is magnetical. And if you find a position in respect to gravitational or the magnetical, then you find where you want to be or what is your position. You increase your gravitational in respect to another planet, you get attracted to it,